We are surrounded by mountain laurel. It's so pretty, and it's blooming everywhere. Hello. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
We are back out on the trail, and this time we're doing a backpacking trip to start Massachusetts on the Appalachian Trail. So this is where the Massachusetts-Connecticut border is, and I ended here last time when I finished Connecticut. So we're gonna take the first section of Massachusetts. We're gonna go over Mount Race, Mount Everett, into Great Barrington, and onto the other side. And we're gonna do that in 2 days. We've already been hiking for a while. We've done over 3 miles just on the side trail just to get to the AT. And the mountain laurel, we timed it perfectly.
Beautiful.
The mountain laurel is all in bloom, and it's just gorgeous. The
I
trail
can't
in was
recall ever
gorgeous.
seeing it myself, so this is the first time seeing it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Snack time. Hemlock Shelter, and we're making dinner. You know that nagging feeling you sometimes get in the back of your mind, like you forgot something and you just don't know what it is? And I had that feeling, and I said to myself, I know I forgot something. I'll figure out what it is when I need it. Turned out it was the fuel canister to cook our dinner. Luckily, we had another hiker come to the rescue and loan us some of his fuel from his canister. So we do have nice warm dinner, and I'll just cold soak the breakfast. Good morning. All right, so we just left the Hemlock Shelter. We're both a little tired this morning. Yesterday was a difficult hiking day. There was a lot of elevation change. We went over both Mount Race and Mount Everett, and that was intentional. I planned the day that way because I wanted to train up on doing a lot of elevation change and going uphill. So that was the plan, and it definitely met and exceeded expectations. So we both pulled into camp kind of tired. The Hemlock is a nice shelter. The amount of really flat tenting space around it is not so much. There was really one good flat spot, and a thru hiker that got there before us got that spot. So we ended up on a slight hill again, which is never great for sleeping. So we were both so exhausted, we slept some, but it wasn't great sleep. There was another shelter nearby, which was supposed to have more flat space, but there were these two huge groups, and they were both down there at that site. And so I think we preferred the quiet area. And so it all worked out okay. We did 9.5 miles yesterday, which I think that's your biggest day, right? 9.5, because you've done 9?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, 9.5 yesterday. Today, we have 11 miles to go to get back to the car, but the terrain is going to be much easier today, much more forgiving. We've got mostly downhill and level today. We don't have any big mountains in our path, so that'll be good. We're still way up on the ridge this morning. About the first 3.5 miles are no like mountains to go over, but the terrain is rolling as far as elevation goes, but there's a lot of scramble up, scramble down, scramble up, scramble down. So it's still pretty slow going this morning for about the first 3.5 miles. Someone said after jug end, it's supposed to get better and flatter, but we're still fighting the terrain this morning. All right, so we're sitting at Jug End having a little snack. And according to Far Out, we have about 8/10 of a mile of very steep downhill still to go. Yeah. And yeah, it's very kind of scrambly and technical downhill from what I've been seeing and from what I can tell. Then after that, it should level out a bit.
Yay.
This is only my husband's second backpacking trip, and I've been backpacking for 16 years now.
Yeah.
And so big difference. And what's so fun about this is that he keeps saying stuff to me like, be careful, these rocks, they're slippery when they're wet.
Babe, be careful. The rocks are slippery.
Okay.
That's why you hang onto the tree.
Yeah. And watch out, don't hit your head on that branch. And I think it's so cute. He's protecting me. He's watching out for me. I think it's adorable. Not to mention that I can't blame him, because last time on our first backpacking trip, I did smash my head into a tree, and I was bleeding profusely from the skull. And I'm sure that freaked him out a little bit, although he didn't show it. He was very calm and helpful, and I appreciated that. We are still half a mile from the bottom.
And I'm still smiling.
He's a trooper. Look, flat trail. Wonder how long that'll last. So we've reached Jug End Road, which puts us at the base. We've lost the elevation for the day. Everything from here on out will be pretty well level-ish. Nothing in hiking is ever completely level, but
Rubber legs.
aw. Yeah. This is why I like the trails that are up in the mountains. Because as soon as you lose elevation and come down, the mosquitoes attack. magic.
Trail magic.
First trail magic.
First one for me. And I'm going to take advantage.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot of poison ivy alongside the trail. Beware for those who are sensitive to it. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. This is great. Trail Magic had veggie burgers. All right, so that was our second Trail Magic of the day. So John is really beginning to experience what backpacking is like. He's beginning to experience what the AT is like, including the sort of Trail Magic community culture that there is. So it's really funny watching him cycle through emotions while backpacking. He'll see the beautiful nature. Like he had never seen mountain laurel before. And I thought that was just so cool watching him discover it. And then, we'll be going up a hill and it'll be really hard. And then when he's not comfortable in the tent at night, because that's a whole, different experience for him, listening to him not be comfortable and happy. And then, hiking on and hitting Trail Magic, and then, he's all excited again. So I've been watching his emotions go up and down through this whole trip. But honestly, I think that's pretty typical for the emotions of a backpacker. We have highs and lows the whole time. I'm just seeing it through his eyes now. We've got about 1.5 miles left to the car. I think you did great. This was a tough hike.
Thanks. I don't know. I don't have enough energy to feel proud yet.
You will. And you'll be really well trained for this summer. All right, let's hit the last hill.
Amen to that.
So we've been slogging up this steep hill, the last hill of the day. And we're climbing up and we get to a little break where it levels off for a couple 100 feet. And he turned around to me and he said,
"Now I'm proud."
He said, "Yep, I just did that whole hill without stopping." And I looked at him and said, "Sweetie, we're only halfway up the hill." He was not happy about that. I've never seen a jaw drop so fast. But now we're at the top of the hill. Now how do you feel?
You don't want to know how I feel. But no, yeah. I didn't stop on the second part. For an out of shape guy, I feel proud.
All right, off to the car. Is that a road?
I hear cars.
We're almost there. Cars, the road, the end.